welcome to Focus Today. We need some Merry Christmas music there or something. Anyway, good morning to you. I'm Perry along with Santa, Elbert. Or at least one of his helpers. Tim Elbert's in the house from the Four Seasons Nursery, and we got kind of a unique thing we're going to do for a little while this morning and give you a chance to participate in it. Number one, if you have a gardening question for Tim of what you should or should not be doing in your yard this time of the year, give us a call. The phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free at 1-800-373-5368. And we'd like for you to call and share with us maybe a funny or interesting or emotional Christmas story. And now you have an award for that.
We do.
What are you doing?
We are, we usually give something away, on the program, and this is my last program for this year.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. So I thought we would do something really special this time.
All right.
And so we are going to be giving away $10 gift cards, and that's plural. And we're actually going to give away a $10 gift card to every caller who calls and asks a question or tells us a story, has comments to make, whatever. So you are going to get a chance to win.
Let me see that. Look at that. I think we have one up on the screen, a picture of it. This is beautiful. A Four Seasons Nursery gift card, $10.
$10.
Man,
yeah.
Alive. Now, that would get you a bag of fertilizer. No, well, thank you, Tim. All right, so here's the deal. If you have a question or a story, now, while supplies last, and we'll determine that as the show goes on. But anyway, so if you have a question, the phone number is 776-5368, or you have a Christmas story you'd like to share, something to kind of get us in the mood, a little bit. We need a little cheering up. We need some fun stories, don't you think?
We do. We do. This time of year, of course, in the nursery, when we talk about the live Christmas trees and all, growing up as a kid, my dad would. We were never very well off, and so my dad always waited until Christmas Eve to buy his Christmas tree.
Really?
Yes, and so Christmas Eve, or sometimes the night before, so the 23rd, the evening of the 23rd when he got off work, he would go looking for a Christmas tree, and he never spent more than $5.
Well, it worked.
But yeah, it did. He would buy the biggest tree he could find, and then we would cut off 2 or 3 feet off the bottom of the tree and put it in the house. And then because, you just got whatever was left over, we would take and drill holes in the trunk of the tree and then take branches from the part we cut off.
And stick it in there.
And stick it in there. And we had absolutely beautiful Christmas trees.
Well, what else do you expect from a nurseryman?
That was one of the fun things that I remember as a kid.
Well, maybe you have a fun story today, and Tim has been extremely generous. He's in the Christmas spirit. He's wearing his Santa hat, and anybody that calls in with a story is going to get a $10 Four Seasons Nursery gift card. So give us a call, 541-776-5368, or if you have a question for Tim, again, 541-776-5368, or toll free for those of you who are outside the immediate area. We can send this to you, and then when you come to town sometime, you can use it. And that's toll free 800-373-5368. By the way, before we get too far into it, Tim has donated to the Dove here a beautiful live blue spruce Christmas tree. It's behind him, and we're going to give that away, Tim, 1 week from today.
Excellent.
And it is a beautiful, about 4.5 feet tall or so?
Yeah, roughly that. It is a fat Albert blue spruce. No pun intended.
Yes, it was.
But the fat Albert blue spruce is a very silvery blue, color with a little bit wider base than most of the blue spruces. Matures out at about 25 feet tall.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good size. And about 15 feet wide. But very nice shape, very, very good cone shape, a broad cone.
Now this is live, it's in a pot, so you can take it home, you can decorate it, put it in, decorate it, then take it out. Now you can leave it in that pot for a couple of years, right?
You could leave it in that pot for one more year, so you can put it in there, as long as you keep it watered and fed all through the summer. Then you could use it for Christmas next year in the house. And then after that, you would have to put it into a little bit larger of a pot.
All right.
Yeah.
Or plant it in the ground.
Or plant it in the ground.
All right.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And we are going to give that away. So if you want to get your name in the hat for the Christmas tree giveaway, which will be 1 week from today, go to the Dove website at theDove.us, and you'll see a Christmas tree icon on the right-hand side. Click on that, fill out the information, and get your name in the hat for that. But today, if you have a question or a Christmas story, Tim has been very generous. He has here a Four Seasons Nursery gift card worth $10. Man, you're extremely generous. And we'll get that to you, all right? So give us a call, 776-5368, 1-800-373-5368. The phones are lighting up, but let me ask you one other question before I lose control of you.
Okay.
How do we water these poinsettias?
The poinsettias really need to have moist soil, so don't let them dry out. But you don't want water to be sitting on them either. So pull them out of the sleeves, water them, allow them to drain, and then put them back in the sleeves. You just want to make sure that water's not sitting in there.
Okay, and not cold water, right?
Yeah, right, correct. Use room temperature water. It's very important. They're very, very temperature sensitive. So if you have one near an entryway and the door's opening and closing all the time, you're going to notice your poinsettia is not going to do well. Okay. So keep it away from cold air and temperature changes. Yeah, and they will bloom. I've had them bloom clear up into Easter. They're just absolutely
and the Christmas tree, put ice around the base of it.
Yeah, Christmas trees, easy with ice, definitely.
Okay, let's go to the phones. Hi, Barb. You've been very patient. What's your story or question?
Well, today is Sweetie St. Lucia Day, and tradition for that is to serve hot coffee and rolls at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
And I have a friend.
Where were you? 5 o'clock has come and gone. Why aren't you here?
I didn't know there was a 5 o'clock in the morning.
I have a friend who used to dress her daughter up as St. Lucia. That's with the garland and the candles in the hair. And she would go knock on doors at 5 o'clock in the morning and serve you breakfast.
Whoa.
Wow.
Then I started the tradition on the Saturday, the closest to December 13th, of having a kidnap breakfast.
Wow. Well, it's 1236 Disc Drive, Suite E.
But I'm snowed in. Can't get there.
Okay. Thank you, Barbara. Great story. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Julie. What's your story or question?
My story is when I was a little girl, I remember staying at my grandmother's house, and we didn't have a lot of money for decorations, and we needed a tree topper. And my mother made this beautiful paper angel and put it on top of the tree, and she had some blue foil paper that she'd made for the wings, and she was just magical because the house would cool off at night, the wings would curl up. And as we just thought she was just the most beautiful thing in the world, because as we woke up in the morning and the fire was built and the house would start to warm, the wings would open up on this angel.
Wow.
Wow.
It was just spectacular. That's my fondest Christmas memory.
Well, how old were you?
I was about 8.
Oh, so that was last year.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I now have grandchildren older than I am.
Great story. Thanks, Julie.
You're very welcome.
Okay,
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you all.
You too. Okay.
Bye.
All right. You know what? I have a little story. Yes. I know I don't qualify for a card, but I have a little story. I think I was about 7 years old, maybe 8. My mother was very artistic. And she decided, she was very tiny. She had 5 children, but she was a real tiny little gal. She decided she wanted to have a pink Christmas tree. She wanted to have this Christmas tree flocked pink. And all 5 of us kids were in protest. But anyway, she got her pink Christmas tree. And she decided that she was going to decorate the Christmas tree with donuts, with those white powdered sugar donut coverage, you know. And so we lived out in the country. So she put these white powdered donuts on the Christmas tree. Well, the next morning when we woke up for Christmas morning, the mice had gotten in there. And we had mice because we lived out in the country. And all the donuts were on the floor and crumbs everywhere. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
I want to know, was it really the mice?
Yeah, well, actually, no, that's part of the story because my brother and I decided, you know, we always used to get up early and sneak in the room to see what was going on.
Right.
And we thought, well, we'll have a donut, but we saw the mice before my mom and dad did, you know. But yeah, we had mice. All right, let's move on here. Hi, Brian. Thanks for waiting. What's your Christmas story? Brian?
Oh, hello. Yes. Yeah. When my kids were young, I decided one Christmas that I was going to do, and so what I did is I gave them money ahead of time, and we went out, and they thought they were buying their own Christmas presents. So they were ecstatic with this. So we came home, and we wrapped them, and they said, well, why are we wrapping them? We already know what they're. I said, just wrap them. And so what we did, Christmas Eve, is we took all the presents, and they didn't know this was going to happen. We went over to a family from our church who had absolutely nothing. But their kids were the same age as our kids. So what we did is we gave them their presents to this other family.
Wow. Wonderful. What a great story. Well, thank you, Brian, for sharing that. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Yeah, and what happened? Well, it's the situation now. If you ask my kids, they will tell you that was their best Christmas.
Oh, I would imagine. What a memorable thing. All right, thanks, Brian. All right, let's go to, let's see here. Marcy? Are you there, Marcy? Oh, Marcy, you got a Christmas tree story? Lost Marcy. All right, let's see if I can make all this work. Hi, Mona, are you there? All right, something's not working. I see somebody else working it for me. Mona, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, sorry for all the confusion. What's your Christmas story?
Well, several years ago, we decided to go up in the snow, and we found the most beautiful silver tip. And we brought it back home and got it all set up in the house, got it all decorated, and it was just breathtaking. And a couple of days later, the kids noticed that we had some spiders, and they were just kind of coming out of nowhere. And then, lo and behold, Christmas Day, we woke up, and there must have been 200 baby spiders hanging from the ceiling around that Christmas tree, which they had come in on.
How'd they taste?
Oh, it was awful. They were everywhere.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Mona.
You're welcome.
Okay, God bless. You too. All right, let's take a quick break. If you have a Christmas story or a gardening question, Tim is extremely generous. I think you're up to about $80 now. Anyway, he's giving away anybody that calls in a Four Seasons Nursery gift card worth $10. All right, 541-776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back, and Mr. Tim Elbert playing his role of a gardening Santa. Yeah, from the Four Seasons Nursery is with us. And Tim, again, explain what we're doing here today.
We are giving away a $10 gift card to everyone who calls in today and asks a gardening question or has a great Christmas story that they want to share with us today.
All right, so there you go. Even if you live outside the immediate area, we can mail this to you. Or if you do, Tim will just go out to the nursery, and I don't know how we're doing that, but we'll figure that out later. In the meantime, you give us a call if you have a question or a Christmas story. All right, I think we found Marcy. She's been very patient. Thank you, Marcy. Sorry we lost you earlier. Merry Christmas. What's your story?
Merry Christmas. Well, it's not really a story. I just want to say that my favorite part of Christmas is every year I have 13 and 14-year-old boys. And we sell mistletoe every year. We go up, we actually do the work, we pick it, we put it in bundles, wrap it in cellophane. And my boys, when they were little, used to think they were making their own money. But every year, to teach them the value of giving, the money that they raise, they have to buy everybody something with the money that they bought. They get nothing for themselves.
Wow.
And so now every year, they really count on that. And so it's just, I grew up with values like that, and so it's just something that we look forward to every year.
So, where can we buy your mistletoe?
We will be at Food for Less next weekend, all day, every day.
Wonderful. How much is it?
They sell them for $1 a piece, little bundles of it. And, you know, it's just the people out there are amazing because people don't buy the mistletoe because the old tradition, you know, they buy it to help the boys, and it's just a really festive, fun thing to do.
That's wonderful. Well, inflation being what it is, it's up to $1 a pack now, huh?
well, I figure we're making pretty good money when the florists, you know, they sell them for $2-3 a piece, and the boys, and a lot of times they just give them to them.
Hey,
you know, and it's fun.
That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that with us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Have a good day.
Okay. All right. That's good stuff. You don't sell mistletoe, do you?
No. We leave that up to the kids.
All right. There you go. So they'll be out there next weekend. I think, did you see the gal that was trying to sell it up in Portland, and they said she couldn't do it, but she could beg for money? She was selling it to pay for her braces, help her dad pay for her braces.
Wow. And
they stopped her because she didn't have her permit, but they did turn around and say, well, if you want to beg for money, you can do that, but if you're going to sell mistletoe, you can't do that.
Wow.
So craziness being what it is. Give it to the kids. All right, let's move along. Hi, Kate.
Hi, good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and all of yours, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can really relate to Tim with the late Christmas tree procurement. When I was a little child, the Christmas tree would come home on my dad's last day of work before the holiday. And then later on, both of my brothers worked at Christmas tree lots, and of course the employees would get to take whatever was left on Christmas Eve at closing time. And this particular lot happened to be one of the ones that had the flocking machine.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, being boys,
oh no,
we would end up with a tree that was flocked, you know, to within an inch of its life. You couldn't see tree. All you saw was whatever the leftover color of flocking was in the machine. And the advantage is there was no needle drop.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great story.
That's great.
But it was great times. Great time.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Kate.
Merry Christmas.
You too. You know, when I was in high school, I drove delivery truck for a florist for 2 or 3 years. You know, and I think some of the best florists out there are the delivery drivers, because the florists would make these beautiful arrangements, put them in the back of the truck, and then we have to deliver them, but we would speed and things would roll over and fall apart. So I learned the triangle thing of floral work, you know.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, everything's in a triangle. So anyway, after we would drive the truck and an arrangement would spill over in the back, we'd have to go back and put it all back together before we took it to the door. Well, we had a flock Christmas tree, and we pulled this Christmas tree out. We put it in by pulling it in with the big end first.
Right.
But when we had to deliver it to the big Catholic church downtown, so we pulled it out from the front end first. Well, all the limbs got caught in the door coming out, and we went from a full flock tree to this thing looked like it had green stripes in it because we pulled all the flock off. We pulled it out. Anyway, one of my stories.
Oh yeah. Many years we actually sold cut trees and flocked trees.
Yeah.
And yes,
it's messy, isn't it?
It's messy. It's not a lot of fun, but it was. I don't know. We had fun, but.
You ever have
I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore.
You ever have a flock fight?
Oh no.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I won't say any more on that one. All right. Hi, Fern. Thanks for waiting. You have a gardening question. Yahoo!
Yes, I do. I was wondering if an avocado tree has to have, please don't laugh, but a male and a female tree to produce avocados?
No, they don't. However, they have to reach a certain age before they will produce. And that can be quite a while. I think it's about 10 years. I'd have to brush up on that to make sure, but I know that they've got to be fairly old before they start to produce. So not a real good chance that you're going to get much for production of an avocado.
Okay, well, I was just curious because I had heard that before, and we lived in an apartment complex in California that had 2 avocado trees that hung over in our backyard, and we had all the avocados we ever wanted.
Wow.
While they were producing.
Yeah.
But I have one that's about a foot tall that a friend gave me, and I just didn't know if I was going to need to grow 2 and try to figure out if they were male and female. I figured I'd get a silly remark from you, Tim, though.
Well, is your avocado dating anybody?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Fern.
Thank you.
All right. Merry Christmas. All right. Let's see here. Squeeze in a couple more quickly. Hi, Diane.
Good morning.
What's up?
I have a question. I was in a couple of weeks ago and bought a pineapple guava and a Norwegian spruce tree from Tim, and I'm just wondering, because of the unusual weather, especially for the guava tree, if there is any special things that we should be doing for it?
Well, at this point, there's not a lot that you will need to do. Your spruce, of course, will be just fine. The pineapple guava, I'm a little bit concerned about with that cold weather. But make sure that it stays wet. That root ball should be wet. Have you planted it?
Oh, yeah. Both of them have been put in the ground. I was going to use the spruce for the Christmas tree, but they went in the ground.
Okay.
Right after we bought them.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. So just make sure that that soil is good and moist, and you should be okay. Out of the ground, I'm a little bit more concerned about that, but as the temperatures warm up in spring, you'll begin to see the foliage start to drop, maybe a little bit of dieback, but it should come out of it and be okay. But just check with us if it's not.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I was going to come in today anyways, or tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's squeeze in one more before we take a break. Hi, Kathy. You have a Christmas story for us?
Well, yeah. I was a kid in Burbank, California. I'm not a native here. I got here as quick as I could. But anyway, I grew up in the 40s and 50s, and my dad did the same thing, Tim, as you guys did. We were a poor family, usually 3 generations, and sometimes even 4 when Grandma was still alive. And the house was always full of people. So Dad was a building contractor, and he'd just stop at whatever lot he could find that was still open on Christmas Eve and buy the best-looking Christmas tree he could. One year we had my sister and my nephew living with us, and he was a severe ADHD kid and would get into everything. And he was just a baby, but he was walking. And so Dad had to get a little tree, and he had to cut the back of it off and put it up on the mantle. We had a big mirror over the mantle, so it was really rather pretty up there. And of course, it needed almost no decorations because I think it was like 3 feet tall. And since even in Burbank, when the weather was cold, we would heat with a little wood stove. We were probably the only ones in Burbank that had a wood stove, and Dad could bring home all the wood he wanted from the construction sites that was left over. And so we had to be really careful with that tree up above the wood stove.
Wow.
But it looked really pretty up there, and it's one of my more memorable Christmases because we spent all our time keeping my nephew away from the stove and away from the tree.
There you go.
And then when I was first married in '59, we got a tree for $5, and we'd sprayed the flocking stuff all over it, and we covered it in blue and green bulbs. But we put all the decorations on before we sprayed the flocking. And to this day, I still have a few of those ancient bulbs that were a gift from his grandmother. They go back to the 1940s, and I still have a few of those left with a little bit of flocking on top.
All right.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
Oh, you too. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and Tim has been very generous today. Again, you are saying?
I'm giving away $10 gift cards. So if anybody who calls with a Christmas story or a question about gardening, you're going to get a gift card, $10 gift card. We'll get your name, and you just need to pick it up before or by the 23rd of this month.
All right, there you go. Let us know. 776-5368, 776-5368, or toll free outside the area, 1-800-373-5368. By the way, when you were flocking a tree, did you always cover the lights? I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah, we would. We would actually...
You get the tree, you put the lights on it.
Put the lights on it first and then flock it.
Cover the bulbs, though, so you wouldn't...
Oh, no, actually, what we would flock it with the bulbs uncovered, and they would just glow through the flock. It was really pretty.
Okay, whatever. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
All right, well, we have the Garden Santa in the house today. Mr. Tim Elbert's with us from the Four Seasons Nursery, and he's extremely generous today. He is in the Christmas spirit. I don't know if his accountant knows what he's doing, but or his bookkeeper, but anyway, he is giving away to anybody that calls in with a gardening question or just a fun Christmas story, a $10 gift card from the Four Seasons Nursery. Now, how fantastic is that? That's the bargain of the century right there. And all you got to do is call and give us a story or ask a question, and we'll make arrangements to get you one of these cards. And it's worth $10 out at the nursery, and boy, that could be pretty handy a little bit later on. By the way, Tim, thank you again for making available this beautiful Fat Albert blue spruce Christmas tree that's behind Tim.
That's Albert with an A.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful live blue spruce Christmas tree, and we're going to give that away 1 week from today. And here's what you do. Just go online at thedove.us, and on the right-hand side, you'll see the Christmas tree icon. Click on that, fill out the information, and get your name in the hat for that drawing coming up 1 week from today. It doesn't come with the lights or the decorations. Those are ours, but you're going to get the tree. And you can decorate it up for this Christmas. Tim says one more year in the pot, I guess, huh?
Yep. Then you can go do a larger pot if you want to.
Okay.
So
or you put it in the ground. Yeah. It's hey, this thing kind of weighty. It's a young ton. I picked it up and moved it around. It's not light.
Nope. All those roots and that soil do have a little weight to them.
Okay. Anyway, so thank you so much for doing that.
You're
All
welcome.
right, let's go to the phones. We've got some people waiting. Diane, you've been very patient. Merry Christmas. What's your story?
Merry Christmas. Well, during the Christmas season, we always set up the nativity, but we don't put Mary and Joseph and Jesus in it. We just put the cows and the little manger bed for Jesus.
Oh.
And through the season, for 2 weeks, Mary and Joseph make their way from the farthest point of the house to the manger.
Oh.
And the kids never see us moving them. And my kids are, my youngest now is 14 and my oldest is 27. So they've kind of, got the idea what really happened.
They figured it out, huh?
So Mary and Joseph's all over the house?
We still don't, they still don't see us move them, even, well, with the exception of one. But anyway, 1 year, my oldest son was, he probably was 10, spent the whole night sleeping under the end table and well, he didn't intend to fall asleep, but he spent the whole night underneath the end table because he wanted to catch us putting Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus in the manger in the morning. Because, you know, the deal was and then on Christmas morning, they would be in the manger and baby Jesus would be in his bed. And so he spent the whole night sitting there waiting for us. He fell asleep. So he never saw us do it. But years later, after he'd been to college and come back home, we thought everybody was out in the car one morning ready for church, and so we picked up Mary and Jesus and moved him, and he came down the stairs, and he's like, I knew it! I knew it!
That is...
So we told him, well, now you're just going to have to take part in this. So he's shared in that duty as well over the years.
That is a terrific story. So you set up the nativity, you leave Jesus and Mary and Joseph out of it,
right? And
you moved Mary and Joseph around the house as they work their way towards the scene, right?
Right. Yes. and then on Christmas Day, the shepherds show up later in the day, and the angels show up by that evening. And then after Christmas Day, then the wise men start far away, and they spend the next week coming to the manger, and they get there on January 6th with it, which is Epiphany.
Well, I have to tell you, Diane, you give new meaning to live nativity.
Well, I'm hoping to be able to share that one with my grandchildren.
Oh, so. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you all, too.
You too.
Right, bye.
That's pretty creative.
That's neat. Yeah, we
so you're moving Mary and Joseph all over the place.
Yeah, we used to do the wise men would come out on Christmas, and they would work their way towards the nativity scene on the 12th night. They'd be a nativity scene.
I wonder if Mary and Joseph cruised on by the cookie jar. You think they did?
Oh, probably.
All right. Hi, Shirley. Merry Christmas. What's your story?
Well, it's a really short story, but I just wanted to share it because it came to mind when you guys were talking. When I was little, I was probably about 11, 12. My dad had left that year, and my mom was newly single, and she was trying to be a responsible mother and look out for us. And the day before Christmas, a man showed up at our door, just like Santa Claus. And he went the ho, ho, ho bit, and he had obviously had some drink before he came. And my mom answered the door. Actually, we answered the door first, and then she came to the door. And he said that he was Santa Claus, and he was going to take us shopping. And I thought, and my mom says, I don't think so. She told me, she said, he's just a drunk man. And so and he was from the Salvation Army.
Oh.
We didn't have money, so they were going to give us, a turkey and some food, and he was going to take us shopping. Well, my mom argued and argued and argued with him and told him he was not getting in our house and he was not taking us anywhere. And no, she didn't want anything from him. And he was drunk, but he just kept arguing that he was supposed to come and give us this Christmas. Well, my mom argued with him and sent him away. And so all 5 of us kids were crying because Santa Claus was there and Mom said he wasn't real and we weren't going to get any presents.
Wow.
So we went to bed and we cried and everything. We thought, we don't get no Christmas. And Santa Claus is not real. We were really upset. Well, the next morning, somebody came from the Salvation Army and explained themselves. So, yes, we did get to go shopping, and we got a new coat and new shoes and a toy. So I just wanted to share that because when the Salvation Army comes, sometimes they're doing what they're not supposed to do when they're celebrating. But you know what? If they knock on your door, they're for you. And I believe that the Lord just sends good people to us.
Boy,
so,
what a
thank
story.
you so much.
What a story. Well, Shirley, thanks for sharing that. That is really a great story. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you, too, and Lord bless you.
Okay. That reminds me, the Salvation Army is still in need of some turkey, hams, and toys in Jackson County. And so if your budget allows that and you're out shopping this weekend, pick up a ham or a turkey or some toys and get it to the Salvation Army. They had an increase this year, Tim, of 1,300 requests for help.
Wow.
And that's just Jackson County. So if you live in another county, check out the Salvation Army in your county and see what they're doing. They do wonderful work, as you just heard in that story. All right, let me see. I think we can squeeze in a couple more here. Carol, you've been very patient. Merry Christmas. What's your story?
Well, we were in Thailand as missionaries, and our first Christmas, all of a sudden we realized there's no place to buy a tree. And so we we had to find some cardboard and cut out a tree, figure out how to make a tree out of cardboard and put it together so it looked like a tree. And then we had to make our own ornaments.
Wow.
And so that was kind of a shocker because, you don't think about it. You can just go down and buy one, and there weren't any to buy. And
wow.
so anyway, we figured it out, and so we used the tree for 4 years.
That's wonderful. And how long were you in Thailand?
4 years.
That's wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that, Carol.
Yeah.
All right, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, Dorothy.
Hi.
What's your story today?
Well, several years ago, a couple lived here in Medford and were good friends of ours, and they had a little 6-year-old boy that had cancer. He had to have his leg amputated. Eventually, he passed away. Well, they moved away, but they always put a Christmas tree on the grave. And so when they left, I took up the tree, and my husband would go out every year faithfully and put it on the grave. Then he would go back and take it down. Well, he's passed away, so my daughter Norma, she is doing it for them.
Wow!
And it's such a blessing to do that for somebody like that. And but it's just a neat thing.
What a special story! Yeah.
And they always acknowledge us. So
that's wonderful.
Anyway,
thank you, Dorothy.
Okay, see you later.
All right, Merry Christmas. All right, let us take a quick break. Tim Elbert's here. He's the guy not saying anything, sitting right here next to me.
Yeah, for once.
No. But anyway, tell us what we're doing here.
Giving away a $10 gift card for every caller who calls in today and has a good story about Christmas or a question about gardening.
All right, and it's a $10 gift card from the Four Seasons Nursery, and boy, that can come in pretty handy. So again, thank you, Jim, for your generosity. All right, we'll take a quick break. Give us a call, 541-776-5368, or toll free, 1-800-373-5368. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
We are back, and Tim Elbert's here with us today from the Four Seasons Nursery, and this is kind of a fun show, to say the least. Kind of his Christmas ho-ho-ho show, because he is playing a garden Santa today. He's got his little Santa hat on. He's below the red part. That's him.
Yeah,
anyway, he has been very generous. Behind him is a beautiful blue spruce Fat Albert Christmas tree live, and we're giving that away 1 week from today. So let me encourage you to get your name in the hat for that drawing. You just go to the Dove website at theDove.us, click on the Christmas tree icon on the right, fill out the information, and 1 week from today we'll draw a name out. Could be yours, and you'll win that beautiful live Christmas tree. By the way, he has live Christmas trees out there, right?
Yes.
This kind, what other?
Well, we have lots of different varieties. There are 3 varieties of fir. There's 3 varieties of spruce, and a couple of varieties of pine, Scotch pine, Austrian pine. There's some cedar that you could use for Christmas trees, and lots of sizes too.
There you go. So check it out if you're looking for a live Christmas tree. And this one, anyway, we'll give it away a week from today. Now, today, Santa is saying
today, free $10 gift card for everyone who gives us a call and tells us a great Christmas story, or asks a gardening question, or tell us a gardening story if you've got a great story from this year.
All right, let's go back to the phones. They're waiting patiently. Shauna, you've been very patient. Merry Christmas. What's your story?
Well, thanks for the gift card thing. That's really fun. I have a Christmas story. We never got a Christmas tree at a lot. We always went out in the woods, and usually went, because I was raised in Klamath, we went between Bly and Beatty out in the middle of nowhere to get a tree. Well, one year, my dad with the pickup jumped a ditch, and it took out, I don't know what part, but it was unusable. And we had everybody, I think from our church, my grandma called when we didn't show up, but we stayed the night out there and had enough stuff to keep us warm, but they had helicopters out looking for us.
Oh,
and we walked into Bly finally. We finally found a road and hiked into Bly for something to eat, coffee or something. Anyway.
Was it
That's
cold?
my Christmas story. That's the most memorable one I have.
How cold did it get?
Huh?
How cold did it get?
You know, I didn't even notice. As a kid, I had two of my favorite dogs with me, but I don't even remember being all that cold. We had blankets and stuff. Mom was kind of prepared for, cold weather.
Yeah.
But we played out in the snow all day, and after that, we got ready to go, and that was when my dad took a ditch. And
Oh, boy.
anyway,
Wow.
I'm sure it was cold, but as a kid, I just didn't even notice.
There you go. All right, Shauna, good story. Merry Christmas. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
What's your story?
I just wanted to share when we were military and we came home finally from England. We stayed with my in-laws for a while. This was in '89, and we went to the Nazarene Church up on the hill in Eagle Point, and we didn't have money for Christmas that year because it was kind of rough getting home and getting settled and getting a new house, and my in-laws helped us with a down payment. And so we were a little bit concerned because we had 3.5 children. She wasn't born yet. And, with the kids and all, it's kind of hard to explain, but they were all good with everything. Mom, it's okay. And it was really sweet because when our church knew of this, and it wasn't something we complained about, they got together, and whomever took it upon themselves, we got an anonymous cord of wood, sent, delivered, and a $100 check came to the door. Anonymous also. Excuse me, I'm still emotional over it.
Wow.
And money, food, all kinds of things came to the door, mostly anonymous, from, I'm sure, our church and from people that cared. And my kids had the best Christmas ever.
Wow.
And on top of that, we had a progressive dinner, which I've never done before, where you go for the hors d'oeuvres and then the soup and the salad and the main course and the dessert, and you travel from house to house with your church or whomever and look at their decorations, and, the meaning of Christmas is shared, and prayer everywhere. And I was in charge of the soup, which was broccoli, cream, cheese, and potato soup, and I made it in a huge batch, and it was gone. Nobody was hungry after that, and I was just so blessed over all the people in the community that just came together and helped us, and we didn't have anything, and it was marvelous. It was absolutely
Wonderful
marvelous.
story. Wonderful story.
Wow.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that with us. Merry Christmas to you.
And to you.
Okay. Let's see here. Lois?
Yes.
Hi. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
What's up?
I think my family hates me when I ever tell this story, but when I was 4, it was my 4th Christmas anyway, I remember going to the store with my mother, and she asked me which doll I wanted. There were all these dolls up on the shelf, and I picked out, not knowing this is what I was going to get for Christmas, but I picked out the one in the blue dress. On Christmas morning, when I got the doll, my mother said to me, "This is the last doll you're ever going to get. Take good care of it." I still have that doll, and it's 75 years old now.
Wow.
So,
wow.
But when I tell this, especially to my younger sister, who is 16 years younger than I am, she got a doll every Christmas.
Wow.
Got a different doll, but
I'm just curious, is the doll porcelain?
no. This was during the Depression, would have been in 1939 when I got it. They were made out of a composition sort of stuff. The head is a composition, the body is cloth. It was called the Mama doll because she had something in her that said Mama if you turned her up and down. And her legs and her arms were all full composition.
Wow.
But, no. I don't know how much it would be worth now, but it's an antique. That's
Well, it's priceless to you.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Great story. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Well, maybe we can squeeze in a couple more here. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How's it over there? Wet, cold, what?
Well, it's cold. I still have about 4 inches of snow on my banister. We're in Gold Hill.
All right.
Yeah. My Christmas story is my dad, I grew up on the Green Springs, lived up past where the Box R is, and my dad worked for the State Highway Department, and he would bring us home a Christmas tree every year, but it was Christmas trees that they had cut off of the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
So they were always Charlie Brown Christmas trees. And my mom would just, you know, she would want him to go out and pick the perfect tree, and he worked the graveyard shift plowing, and he didn't have time to go out and pick the perfect Christmas tree. So one year she decided she would come into town, and she bought a silver aluminum Christmas tree. And all new blue bulbs and blue lights, and it was beautiful, but, you know, I don't remember it lasting more than 1 or 2 Christmases.
Wow.
And we were back to the Charlie Brown Christmas trees that Dad would bring home.
That's a great story. Thanks, Ellen.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye. All right, Tim Elbert's with us today, and he's been extremely benevolent and offering
a $10 gift card to every caller who calls in today with their story of Christmas or their question about gardening in the snow and ice.
All right, Four Seasons Nursery out on Highway 62. You go on out, get off on Violet Road, go up about a half mile, and you'll see it on the right. And 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. And they do have live Christmas trees. Now, behind us is a live blue spruce Fat Albert. That's the one we're giving away 1 week from today, but you have others.
Right. Yep. Lots of
all
them.
sizes, shapes, and makes and models.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you got in the way of color? You got any poinsettias left, or you're out of those now?
There's a few poinsettias left and some Christmas cactus as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's about it for color at the moment. So.
Anything we should be doing in the yard?
Well, right now,
with
probably no. You know, what tends to happen, though, is that, you know, all this thaws out, and then we want to go through and prune and do things. And I'm just going to say, don't do that. Leave everything alone for the next month or so, and take a break from gardening. Read a good book about gardening or something. You know, whatever you need to do to get your fix. But the stuff that's in the ground, we want to leave it alone and let it kind of heal from all of this. And as the temperatures begin to warm up and we begin to see where the damage is from all the cold weather, then we can look about, you know, where to prune and what to, you know, what's going to have to come out and be replaced. And yeah.
All right, let me squeeze in one more. The other Ellen over along the coast. Hi, Ellen.
Yes, good morning. I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted everybody to know how wonderful it is to do business with Four Seasons Nursery with Tim and his staff, because anytime you call, anytime you go out there, everybody is friendly, and they always know what they're talking about, and if they don't, they go look it up. And it's just really wonderful to have you guys in the valley and be part of the community.
Is this your
thank you.
Is this your sister?
No, I paid her.
No, but you always do good. You do good stuff, and I love it. So I just,
thank you.
Hey, quickly, Ellen,
really.
quickly. I only got a couple seconds. How's the weather over there by Coos Bay?
The weather is it's been better than over here. No snow, and and it's finally managed, but it's been cold. I mean, you know, I lost some stuff to the frost. It's been up and speaking in the 40s.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah,
and
Merry
thanks
Christmas to
again,
you. Yeah, Merry
You
Christmas
too.
to you and Dick.
Thank
God
you.
bless. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, well, we're out of time here. Thank you, Tim, for your
thank you.
extreme thoughtfulness and having those gift cards available. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to your dad and mom as well, and everybody out there at Four Seasons. And if you're looking for a live Christmas tree, well, get your name in the hat for this one, which we'll draw next week, or go on out to Tim, 9 to 5, Four Seasons Nursery out there on Highway 62, and get one. Thanks, buddy.
Alrighty, thank you.
Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at the Dove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.